last week was quite an open match with Antwerp. Do you anticipate tomorrow night being something similar, or do you think that, given they don't really have a lot of room for manoeuvre now, they may try and keep it tight and maybe see if they can get something from a set piece or whatever and keep it live going into the last 15 minutes?
Well, to be honest with you, I can only really tell you how I think we're going to approach it. I don't really know what the opposition are going to do in terms of their manager's tactics or their game plan. Obviously the scoreline sits how it is in terms of the advantage we've got. But we certainly won't be going in with that mentality. We see this as a fresh game. We certainly want to improve on our performance from a defensive point of view. We want to be a lot more tighter and a lot more difficult to play against. But having said that, we still want to carry a threat, and we want to try and score as many goals as we can. We're at home. We're not going to sit and wait and protect. We're going to treat this game in isolation and go for the win and be really aggressive and bold in how we play, because this is our home and we want to show everyone how difficult it is to play against this team when they come to Ibrox.
Morning, Stephen. Obviously, with Antwerp being behind, do you imagine they're going to come and be a bit more on the front foot? Could that play into Rangers' advantage going into the second leg?
We'll have to work it out. We'll have our own game plan, and the players will have our own way about going things, and we'll see how Antwerp's set up. But the players are going to have to be clever. They're going to have to be aware of Antwerp's game plan, and I think that'll be in the opening stages. We'll see whether they come and press us and get after us. If they do, we'll try and utilise the space behind them, and we'll try and play through that press and do whatever we can. And we'll also be ready if they come with a little bit more of a cagey approach. We have to adapt on the job and be ready for whatever's thrown at us, but we'll make sure that the players are prepared for whatever's thrown at us. But for me, it's always a case of the focus being on us and how we're going to be about it and how many problems we're going to cause the opposition. And we've been fantastic at home, and we want to be right on the front foot from the off and really go and put in a performance to make our supporters proud. If we do that, I'm confident we can finish the job off. But we certainly got respect for this opposition because they've shown last week that they've got dangerous players. We know they're going to welcome one or two back as well. So we have to be at it and at our best, and that's why the focus has got to be on us.
Hi Stephen, I'm able to get just an injury update on Ryan Jack and the progress of James and Kamar.
Yes, nothing's changed in terms of the James and Kamar. We obviously have had the reports back on the scans, and I think to be sensible, we're looking around that 3-week mark for both situations. Obviously, two different injuries. Obviously, the medical team will rehab both players. I've got confidence they'll have them back when it's safe for them to return. In terms of Jacko, we've had more positive news on the scan, so there's not very much muscle damage in there. There's no muscle tear, but there's been a small bleed in there that we're going to have to protect, so he'll be a couple of weeks as well, but it's definitely on the positive side rather than the negative side in terms of his report.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Do you think last season's experience against Braga over 2 legs could serve your players well going into this, in terms of you also had that frantic first leg like you did last week, and then you'll be able to...
Listen, I think you can always tap into experiences, good or bad, from previous games and fixtures, but with all due respect, this is a new fixture against a new manager, a new opposition. It's a new game. The game sits different. Obviously, we went to Braga in the second leg away. This time we're at home, so it has a lot of differences as well. But I don't think there's any harm tapping into previous experience, especially when you've been on the good side of them, to use that for confidence and belief going into this game. We want to back ourselves, we want to play at the right times, but I think the key to this second leg is what we do out of possession, how organised we are, how difficult we are to play against. I've got no doubt that at the right times we can hurt this opposition, but we have to do the most important job first, and that's to be tough, organised, difficult to play against, aggressive, and then go and create our moments to execute when they come.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Stephen, when you look back to this stage last year, what do you think is the big difference between your team, your squad now, and 12 months ago in terms of growth?
Well, I think our recruitment was very good. I think adding key players to what we already had here was very important. I think the experience of the previous 2 seasons as we've used to our benefit in terms of our growth and trying to move forward. The work that's happened on the training pitch from all my coaching staff that we've put in as well. I think it's been a real combination of factors, but I think the key thing here is always that hunger and determination to become more consistent. I think our results have proved that. We've been unstoppable up to this point. Obviously St Mirren are the only team that managed to do that, and we weren't ourselves on that night. Credit to St Mirren, but we came off what we've been for the majority of the season, and that's been a real hungry team, and we've managed to find that level of consistency to get results.
Hi Stephen, you mentioned the other week that you let yourself think about the title but not get carried away. Can I just ask, sitting there now, knowing that you're 90 minutes away potentially from the last 16 of Europe, you're 7 points away from the league, how do you feel sitting there as Rangers manager? What does it mean to you? Because you can see on social media what it means to the fans, but what does it mean to you?
Well, look, I think it's not about me, is the truth. It's about the supporters, it's about the club, it's about the players. I totally respect the position I'm sitting in right now. We're on the verge of turning Europe into a successful season again by matching last season's effort to get into the last 16, but we've still got a big job to do tomorrow night. If we can do that, that'll be a real positive in terms of our journey, but that'll give us the determination to try and go one step further than last year from a European point of view. We're obviously on the verge in terms of the league campaign, which I'm extremely proud of, but my attitude and focus won't change until we go and get it done. There's still work to do, there's still hurdles to get over, there's tough games on the horizon, but we're extremely determined to go and take the opportunity that we've got sitting here right now.